Hey YouTube, so today I'm going to share with you what would be kind of my top 3 lifesavers, mindset savers when owning a reactive dog that really allows you to enjoy the experience, enjoy the journey, because it's going to be a journey, and also how we can lead them and guide them to transformation, how we can turn reactive to bomb-proof. So what I'm going to be covering is, I've been told I can only do 3, okay, so this means that I've had to really boil these down as to what I think are like the pivotal things. We're going to be covering that, and if you have not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure to do so, and there's a new episode each and every week. So tip number 1 that is a game changer for reactive dogs, I would say, has to be, first and foremost, look after yourself in throughout this experience. You know, your dog is going to be, they're going to be, not reacting necessarily and not responding exactly how you dreamt your dog would when you first got a dog. And I think it's a level of actually settling into this journey that you're now on. Yeah, sometimes we don't get the dog we want, we get the dog we need, and sometimes we don't believe that, and then they teach us all kinds of things and start us off on a journey that we never thought we would go on, that's way more rewarding in the medium term than that dream picture that made you get a dog. So I guess settle into the idea that this is a journey, that it's going to bring enrichment to your life that you didn't sign up for, wasn't the enrichment you thought, but you're going to learn throughout this process how to interact with an animal, support an animal, help an animal, and transform an animal on a level that you never thought was possible until they came into your life, okay? So how can you look after yourself throughout this process? I think first and foremost, get excited about the journey that you are now on. It's not the journey you thought, but it's the journey you're now on. Let's get excited about it. Secondly, you can't make your whole life your reactive dog. If you decided that you're going to do everything with your dog throughout every day, every week, the challenge with that is that at times that's not going to feel all that rewarding. And so little things like sometimes go for a walk just by yourself, yeah? Learn about something, learn about dogs and learn about reactivity and learn about dog training, but actually also immerse yourself in other things that aren't necessarily dogs. If we make our whole life about a particular dog and then that maybe has a bit of a bad day in that relationship and doesn't go so well, that feels soul destroying, and we leave ourselves very vulnerable to that. Third tip that I've got for you would be give yourself permission to say no to things, okay? Give yourself permission, and actually not just give yourself permission, but actively celebrate saying no to things. Saying no to that friend that, invites you and your dog along. Say, actually, I'm going to come with you. I'm going to leave my dog at home because my dog's not going to enjoy that experience. Celebrate the moment that somebody says to you, it's okay, he's friendly, and you say, no, I'm really sorry, but my dog's not going to enjoy that experience, so please pop your dog back on lead, right? Practice saying these things and then actively celebrate them when you do them. That's going to guard your optimism. It's also going to guard your dog's optimism. Now, second tip that I've got for you, if I had to really boil it down to what are like the crucial tips, is have in your head some if this happens, then I do this scenarios, and actually write them down. So you go for your walk and you've decided you're going for this walk with your dog because you've followed tip 1, and sometimes you go without your dog, and you're going for a walk with your dog, and I want you to be, as you're walking, I want you to be thinking, if my dog barks and lunges at a dog over there, I am going to do this. If a dog, somebody starts approaching with their dog and starts shouting, it's okay, he's friendly, I am going to do this, right? It can be unique to you. Yeah, we could teach you all day on what we do in that situation and what seems to work best, but the key is that you decide, you do something, yeah? Just do something. Have it in your head. Otherwise what we do is we go into this like panic and we're as reactive as our dogs are, and actually just deciding, if this happens, probably will happen, then I'm going to do this, right? That can really, really help. So that would be the second tip. Have some if-then scenarios in place. And your if-then scenarios might also be, if my dog, unfortunately meets 2 other dogs on the walk and barks and lunges at them, then I'm going to call it a day and I'm going to come home and have that cut off. Don't have that, ooh, I wonder what would happen if moments, right? I wonder what would happen if I carry on this walk. Maybe it will miraculously get better. I wonder what would happen if I let my dog off lead. And we all, know the answer at times, and yet our little brains go, I wonder what would happen if, right? So if you have, before you even get into that situation, if-then scenarios, you're going to feel a whole lot better and you're going to guard your own optimism. Third thing is, remember that it's there's 3 major focus areas when working with a reactive dog, whatever the naughty but nice nature that they might have, and those are the ones that we've covered in the Naughty but Nice Revolution, which you can get on the Absolute Dog store at absolute-dogs.com, and we cover those and how we tackle them. But it all comes back to really 3 things. The first is that there'll be a level of underlying pessimism that's driving your dog's choices. They see the dog over there, they're not quite sure about the other dog, maybe the other dog gives them some ambiguous signals, or maybe they've actually decided that all dogs are bad, but they assume something to be bad, or they lean towards it being bad, or when in doubt, oh my god, it's going to kill me, and that's what we're working with. And once we accept that that's what's driving this, we each and every day we can boost their optimism a little bit more. Each and every day we can give them some more positive outcomes, give them some wins throughout the day that's going to reshape their brain. The second step, or the second focus that we've got to think about, is our dogs are going round with a bucket, right? And each and every day that things pay into that bucket, exciting things pay into that bucket, scary things pay into that bucket. And when that bucket overflows, that's when we get a reactivity episode. Now, the cool thing is with that bucket is that we have control of many things that go into that bucket. We can decide if we go for a walk today. We can decide if we do some crazy, tennis ball throwing or not, right? So we actually have a lot of control of something that feels totally out of our control at times, and sometimes we have to remind ourselves of that. Third is, when the bucket overflows, what does your dog do, right? Do they charge up to the other dog, or do they bark and lunge if they're on lead? Would they bite even, yeah? The fact is that we can put all kinds of labels on those things. They're reactive, they're aggressive, they're a biter, or are they just an extreme engager, right? Do they struggle to think, hold on a second, I'm going to leave this alone. Hold on a second, that's none of my business. That's the concept of disengagement. And again, each and every day, we can grow and teach our dogs that disengagement is the path that we want them to take using games, okay? It all comes back to this. There is hope. We've seen thousands of dogs have their reactivity transformed through this method. There is a game for that, and sometimes there's not going to be that person next to you when things are going wrong who's going to say to you, don't worry, there's a game for that, right? Sometimes we have to be the ones that say it to ourselves. We have to be our own coaches. We have to guard our own optimism as much as we guard our dog's optimism, and there really is a game for that.
Remember, game changers, whatever the dog owning struggle, there's a game for that.
If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to our channel.
And check out our new 25-day online dog training challenge. Watch the videos, play the games, transform your dog owning struggles.
As a loyal YouTube subscriber, you can get a 70% discount through the link in the description below.
And if you haven't already, subscribe to the #1 most transformational dog training podcast on iTunes and Spotify, the Sexier Than a Squirrel podcast.
And remember to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more live teaching, video content and free training using the links in the description.